Hello again. So I ended up eating and watching Ali Wong on Netflix. So this is nice and dry. I did do an extra layer on top of this, leaving these spaces open. I went with a little bit of Viridian green color mixed with the peacock blue color, and just went and left these little spaces open. I think with this I'm going to use some raw sienna to start, and then I'll add the darkers or the darks in a minute. So this might be too dark for what I want, but it's alright. We'll work with it. So this is the raw sienna that I'm just going around inside my turtle with. I do always, well, most of the time I start with the lightest colors. With watercolors, you'll want to start light and work darker, because it's harder to work darks and then go light. So I'm just getting all this color on here. And then I'll do the details in a minute. I need some more color. This is a place where I could have put down some water first and then spread it around. But we'll just do this. Now here, I'm going to add a little bit of a darker color. I think I'm going to try burnt sienna and burnt umber mix and see how that will look to darken my, or to add my shadows. I'm going to just probably should have let this dry a little bit. Get some paper towel. Dry that up. Let's see if we could go closer. Yeah, I think you can. So I have my little draw line right here, and I want all of this part under here to be darker, but because this whole thing is wet, the water or the paint is running over my line, so I'll just have to do a general color there of where I want my darks to be, and kind of let it run into the other spaces. So this is his belly here. You can kind of see it starting to bleed into his flipper arm, whatever those things are called on them. too much. I think I want to try a little bit of a red brown as well on here somewhere. Let me mix. Let's see. That's cool. I usually like this color a lot. Taking some just plain water to these edges so they're not as harsh. You see this edge right here? Just gonna take some plain water and spread it out. Just add a little bit at a time. Kind of see how it blooms with the water. So I will have kind of that design, the tortoise shell designs in between here. Kind of like how turtles have that little, the coloring, kind of how giraffes have their spots. Turtles have their own kind of spots as well. I think that's pretty cool. So this, I'm using the red brown and the burnt umber kind of mix. And his head is kind of already dry. Can't see it from this angle, but this part is wet. His head is dry, so now the paint won't spread or bloom as much. Just got a text. And this particular turtle had some spots on his head. I'm going to do some shadows as well. Let's see. He has some spots along the rim of his shell here. I'm going to go in a little bit later and make them a little bit more exaggerated. Can kind of see it here. Just getting more paint here. I'm dotting here because this area is wet, so I'm kind of letting the paint bloom as it will, as it wants to. Now this was supposed to be a little bit of a leg here, but I messed it up. That's all right. Go in and fix it later. He has some spots on his legs here. Might be a she, I don't know. And spots on the arm. Along the back side of this fin, these spots were a little bit longer in shape. I think I lost them though, but that's okay. This is just a sketch in my book. Now in between layers, you do want to let this dry so that you can go in and add more details. I think I will go in and ink some outlines and stuff. I'll probably do his eye, her eye. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, that's dark. Here is the beginning of the shoulder. So I'm going to put in some marks to indicate the kind of the roundness of where the shoulder comes out. Then here's the fin. So I finally saw Infinity Wars yesterday. I thought it was okay. It was a lot of visual information for me. I wish I had more of the little stories or more story in between all of the fight scenes. It was a lot of, I think it was overwhelming, kind of like Transformers is visually overwhelming with all the CGI and everything. But Spider-Man had me crying. Yeah. I'll leave it at that. Let's see, I'll put, let me spread some of this over here. Actually doesn't look that bad with the darkness. So the color under his lip here is a little bit more concentrated. I think I'm going to do that here on the underfin. See if that works. It does. I'm going to add a little bit of brightness to him, I think. I'm going to try some yellow orange, permanent yellow deep. And we'll see what that does. Might not do much. Not much at all. think I'm going to just spread that around here on his shell. Let's see what that does. I'm going to pull some color up off of his shell. Let's take the paper towel, clean spot, and suck it up. That'll give you a little bit of highlight there. Kind of neat. Okay. I'm gonna see, is it dry? The face is dry, so I think I'm gonna try to put some paint his eye in. I'm gonna use indigo. Getting indigo. I'm gonna try indigo and Van Dyke brown, just a nice dark color for the eye. And his little nostril, which is up pretty high. Let's see. I think I can also let's see. Kind of outlining the parts of the turtle now. I think, where was it? Around here was his leg. There's the outside of his fin. He looks kind of like a, this reminds me of a lobster claw. Okay, I think I'm gonna just stop here, but this is basically what I will have, and then I'll just do all the detail work offline, but some additional seagrass or sea leaves or something. Maybe some bubbles. That's it. All right, bye.